What are you looking for?
I need something. It's important.
What are you looking for in here?
2 rapid strikes.
Why do you need 2 rapid strikes?
Oh, you'll find out. I'm about to summon it. Alright, so this is where time-lapse footage of the intricate process of cutting down a Nemesis and a rapid strike, taking out all of its internals, and slapping it together like this would go. That is where it would go. If I had any of that footage, which I filmed, it was complicated. We had to build a new hydro dipping tank just to dip something this big. A lot of footage went into this build over a little over a calendar year, and the issue with that footage being strung out over a calendar year is that this was my wake-up call to finally start organizing all of my footage in my hard drives. It's gone. There is no footage. It might exist somewhere, and maybe I'll find it a year from now, but it is gone. So if I do, it'll show up on my Instagram at some point in little fun blips as like teasers from this project, but there is no time-lapse footage. We're jumping immediately into what would happen if this existed. Let's go! Alrighty guys, so here it is, the 8th day Juggernaut, and it's loaded up with the drums from my Stormbolter way back when. Now it's kind of humorous, but the only 2S that was fully charged is this one, and because of the motor choices, this should power it just fine. It would get slightly higher FPS and rate of fire with a bigger 2S battery, but it's a behemoth. It's almost impossible to one-hand wield. You can hold it up here in the front or under here in the front. I like to support it right here, but it is exactly what it looks like, ladies and gentlemen. It is a full hydro-dipped in rivet metal, red accented 8th day Juggernaut Marvel inspired build. Got the Drac logo up here. This hydro work came on clean. A lot of hydro work went into this, so even though the hydro work itself is very clean, the touch-ups down here, over here, they drive me just a little bit crazy, but just a ton of work went into this. Like, it's hard to express how large and how crazy a project like this is. So everything is fully functional, everything's been rewired for efficiency and performance. Tried to slow down the rate of fire on the rapid strikes so that they would kind of match up better with the rate of fire from the Nemesis. You can obviously make a rapid strike go way faster than the Nemesis, but as I'm kind of flipping it around, you can see that everywhere that the shell's mesh is clean. These are custom 3D printed pieces in the back that cover up that back end of these rapid strikes so that you can fit the pusher boxes and still have super clean access to the original magazine releases. As I'm holding it like this, I'm like trying not to tilt it forward. So only a monstrous man could wield this primary, and I am not that man. This is going out to my friend Jomo up in New York. We hung out during New York Toy Fair, and he's just a pleasure to build for. Just way more patient than I deserve with my workshop's timeline. So shouldering it is almost humorous. If you hold it out here, you can in fact shoulder it. Aiming it is almost pointless because it shoots full auto from 3 barrels, but let's go ahead and start knocking over some cups. We could talk about it forever, but it is just a full rewire, a lot of shell integration work. This is a cut out of the Nemesis. The Nemesis has like a tray down in here that separates it from its internal, so cut out a bunch of that to fit the rapid strike lines up and in and notch them in. It's about as organic as it can be, and that rivet metal hydro dip really blends those lines. So it is still fully disassemblable, which is not easy. It comes apart in 3 parts. That should be obvious in the build video, but this panel comes off to access this rapid strike, then everything comes off to access the other 2 halves of the shell. But I could talk about it forever. Let's just fire this triple integration. Rapid strike pushers here and here seem to be in good shape. All 3 of them revving at once is still just very surprising to me. Man, does it suck air. It's only a second of fire, but you can see that it just eliminated those cups so handily. Let's duck into here. Something about double blasting, guys. Double blasting is cool. So come over here. More cups. Oh man, our Nemesis hopper is overstuffed. That's so obnoxious. I hate it when that happens. So it fired the first few, but you gotta shake and agitate that Nemesis hopper a little. Excellent. So we are running low, running out of the Rapid Strike. So the Rapid Strike lasts for about half of the Nemesis turret, but these drums are toast. Again, these drums have been customized so that they're double drums. I'm gonna have to jump cut it. I'm gonna have to grab a couple of Worker 22s, which makes this look even longer and even meaner before we take out the big cup wall. Let's go. So, loaded up 2 of my personal Worker 22s. Gonna go ahead and slide those in. Now, in theory, Jomo could create like jungle mags that have this spacing already pre-done, but let's take out the big cups. Oh my goodness, it doesn't even need any help. Like, it's just so massively, comically, literally oversized. And again, just completely eliminated. I think the Rapid Strikes have slightly higher rate of fire in that double RS, but the Nemesis is of course completely capable of dispatching threats and baddies all on its own, but that is the 8th day Juggernaut. I'm gonna take it inside and do one final overview on it before we finish up this video, but just what a project, wow. And so that's it, guys. It's a monstrous blaster, and I just want to make this end segment not only to show it off like cleanly in the studio, but also to reiterate that I do not take commissions anymore. Commissions were a huge part of my origin story in this hobby. Like, it's truly how I got into this and paid for this and supported it. Like, I used to take commission money directly and put it into darts for HVZ, and that's in a world where, like, you guys can't even imagine, where like you only had access to genuine darts and they were ridiculously expensive. These days, with the work that I do for companies and the work that I do on YouTube, I just simply don't have the bandwidth to take private contracts. So if you would like a piece of my work, there's always the Patreon route or option, and if you're like a really serious client and we've done repeat business or something like that, I do occasionally take very special contracts like this that are professionally interesting for very special clients like the home that this is going to. And I did just want to publicly acknowledge, thank this client for their patience. I had a ridiculous whirlwind of an endeavor, like trying to juggle this with professional obligations, and that's exactly the reason that I can't take work like this often. So it has to be the right blend of project and client, and they were an absolute treasure to work for. So thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this monstrous blaster and this really cool build video, but it will not be happening again soon. Again, if you'd like personal work, keep an eye on my Kickstarter page, keep an eye on my Patreon, and as always, much love, Nerf on, Drac out.